Good day, good day, my friends. And today I will discuss now to show you a few points of certain writers who have written certain things about who was first, no, not first at the Cape, but who stayed at the Cape at certain times. So I bought this for tomorrow, this book, when I was in town. And there's a place named a shop, second shop named Ons Winkel. Ons Winkel is die plek se naam. En die rede hoekom ek dit vir julle nou aanhaal van die wat daar staan wat gaande is oor ons winkel. Ek koop altyd daar van die boeke en so staan sulke items koop ek altyd met daar meestal boeke want daar is baie historiese boeke wat gepaard gaan met rasse aangeleenthede. Who was by that time in Cape Town, the first people who came here and to meet these people there. So this is the book. I want to show you certain points, what they say, what they said according to certain things. I think this book is over all the towns. I think in the whole, I'm not sure with the whole country, but there is index at the end of the book, and it goes a long way from A to Z. Nicknames, Afrikaans, Ninaber, want Nieuwedwil, Notier, Klein Kliphuis, Fair Farm, Kling Reverend, Heinrich, Knofloekskraal. I see this name, Knofloekskraal, and that is a place where some people stay now, near Grabouw. And I found a name, they call the place name Knofloekskraal. But okay, according to this book, they say it's Knofloekskraal. And then it's also Kuberg. And that's a lot harde Bekkraal. Some people call it harde Beeskraal. Hailstone. I'm not sure if there's other name with other or two names. Okay, but okay, there is a lot of things. Lady Smith, Koopmans, the Bread Miss, it is Cook Sisters, Coffee Kraal, Koule. Okay, that is all firearms. Okay, that's all names and places and so on in this book. See, that is because that is according to English. At the last page is no numbers on it. And I so here stop the numbers. Now the numbers stop at 251, and then the other page the last one don't have any name on it, but okay, that is. So when I go back to page number 1450, yeah. Okay, first must show you because that you can see what they are I'm talking about. That is according to this book. See there? There's a name. That is the name of the book. And there is are a lot of other. You can see there's Khoisan, Bushman, wat na Pijlenbos het. And there's others for strays, ostrich. And okay, that is a lot of the trees okay, that is all things connected to this found or elephant, you name it, lions, or is in that page. So that page is in the forefront of the book, and at the end of the book is that picture. So the land, and there you can see is that is the cover, the name of the cover. That is the name of the cover. In the land of the afternoon. So that is it, friends. And now I will show you. The next page is the book was written by Lawrence Green, published by Harvard, be Diamonds. Yeah. And the first time it was published, it was 1945, 1946 the second time, 1947 the third time, and 1948 the river and okay, that is different. I think, oh, that is like my, the certain editions. Okay, so that is what the people say here. The first one, 1945, were men still dream. Yeah, were men still dream. And the second, 46, 1946, so few are free. And the third one, 1947, taverns of the sea. Taverns of the seas. And the fourth one, to the rubber, to the rubber stamp. That is now. That is the next space. And it's all about history, so African history, and that is there's one here, that is there, there's one there. All about how people see saw the clip at that time. Okay, now I go move to this other one. So that is to talk about the couple and now there's the contents below the blues and blah blah blah. And I am go to page 14. As you say in the video, that's on page 14. Here, 14 to 15, and that stand there on page 15. What I will show you now. And that is as follows. Page 15, I move to the first paragraph. And now, yeah, same, we say the first paragraph, not the first paragraph, it follows on the other one. And that's the notion which the average Englishman a generation ago had of the Cape was truly curious, declared the writer. The inhabitants were supposed, he said, the inhabitants were uh, supposed yeah, to be all poor. I would say, what this guy, written here was that the Cape was supposed to be poor, or like we say in this, our language, blankes. So mense om terug te kom na die skrywer se gedagte toe wat hy sê die Kaap was supposed to be put mense, boere, supposed to be. Maar ons weet nooit daai tyd dat hulle die Kaap moes volgens hulle moes ontdek het, aangeland het, toe kry hulle mos na die Queen, Sandy, agterna toe change die naam na Hottentot. So ek is seker, maar volgens hulle was hulle mos nou boere, stel Sun, Queen Sun en die Kaap was, en hulle het agterna die name gee. Hulle het die changes gemaak. In Duitsland as ek julle die handdoek die, die regte inhabitants. Daai was nie inhabitants gewees nie. Maar aan die Kaap gebly wat hulle bepraat het. Wees ek nou nie, ek kan nou niks sien blank is. Menie verkeerd verstaan, ek is nie vir racisties nie. As my net soos die history gaan, en ons my net by die geskiedenis staan. Nou, volgens hulle was dit maar nog gewees. Die een sê dat moet eindelijk wat mense gewees het, maar ook ongelukkig had my nie so nie, daar was nou voor het wees wat my nog een woord die hoorten tot, nog het verder gaan. Hy sê, hulle het gedra leer skoene. Hulle het stel, waar is het nou, hy sê, die boere ja, hy sê, they all live in the Garoo, which was everywhere outside Cape Town. The people who were not Boers woorden tot. En this several spoke kitchen dogs. Wat sê hy so? Hulle sê die mense die gebly het, die woorden tot, die kitchen dogs comprise dates, as ik het zo kan zeggen. Dus ik heb even een video gemaakt wat ik op TikTok gezet heb, maar die phone van mij is zo on. Ik denk als je net wat ik niet lekker samenwerken en ik ben nog niet de video klaar gemaakt. Ik ben stil bezig om te uploaden op. Ik maak dus ik ga maar eens maar die video op YouTube weer van dat deze clue kan dit houden gaan in zaak. So I decided to go further and start with it live on YouTube. Sorry, because the other video on TikTok is still running. So I decided to make this one so that you can have a clue according what this book says. He says, but all the guys left the Karoo, and then speak about the coin, not the coin, they never mentioned a coin that maybe all they mentioned was uh, Hottentot. Yeah, they all lived in the Karoo, which was everywhere outside Cape. The people who were not Boers were Hottentots. And this Cerberus spoke Kitchen Dutch were nothing but a skin carrosse and wrapped himself all over with sheep tail, vet en pokoe. So wat julle hier sien mense, hulle sê die Hottentotte wat hier gebly het destyds het hulle gesmeer met uh wat ek nog weer die naam maak nie. Ja, koud ja, wat koud hulle het hulle self gesmeer met skaapsteer vet. Dat wil sê die mense wat hulle hier gekry het was uitgesmeer met skaapsteer vet en met pokoe. Dat wil sê die pokoe was gemeng met die skaapsteer vet en hulle het daarmee gesmeer. Dit was hulle volgens hy nou die skrywe oor so met oor dit was. En daarom kan ek sê pokoe is eie aan die Khoi nasie, want dit is deel van hulle kultuur. Maar deesdae word die mense mos nie pokoe aangesmeer nie, want pokoe is sterk. En ons het maar nou 'n bietjie gemoderniseer. Ons dra met klere en het spyt nou vir ons met reukbaters of reukweerders of perfumes. Dit is as the opposite. Yeah, people, so that is a story about the people. And he say that he rubbed himself with sheep, tail fat, and so the mix of these sheep tail fat, the fat around the tail of the sheep, and then they mix that fat with buchu. And buchu is a herb. It grows there in the mountain. I'm from Palm, and there on the here on the waterfall is a pava, and they planted the plantations. But that time buchu was all over, was all over, and they used that buchu and they mix that buchu with the seed till fit, and they wrap it all over their bodies. And that is also for yeah. So there was a very young group, nice race, where we say that. So that guy, he say it was not Boers on the Cape, it was Hottentot. And the reason why they spoke like he say Dutch, kitchen Dutch, is because when Jan van Riebeeck and that guy before them came to the Cape and they must communicate with the people there because there was everything. There were fruits and there were livestock and there was water and there was, all that other things. And then they exchanged it. There wasn't money that time. There wasn't money, rand and cent, and every time when they arrived at the Cape, They could connect with the people there, the Khoisan, you know, and or the Hottentot, and that people before them uh, livestock like sheep, cattle, all the things, and then they and fruits and fresh water. You see, that was the exchanging. And the guys from India, when they arrived here, you know, they brought uh, spices. Yeah, they brought spices here. And that guys, they took their spices and they use it for their food or for other things, you know, and palm salt and whatever they brought from India or from the east, and then the people come and they use the spices. And after a few months or so, years, the companies ships arrived again, and they brought uh, the thing, so that people give them all that stuff. So when the people move back to their countries, Netherlands or Dutch, you know, and they have enough food, you know, they have enough uh, meat and other things, you know, waters and all the things they got enough so they can make it to their country. That is the reason. And that is why I told you about this book. Okay, it was just the beginning of the book. I'm still open it and I go through the book and I saw what they are told there. So decided to, uh, I decided I will study that and then I will come back and uh, read what people are talking about. It's a nice book, you know. It's interesting. What the people done here, and they come with. Uh, I'm not sure if I can say was clever people because we saw all the guys are in Afrikaans of zeer maar het vaak, you know. Ik meen as jy nou 'n bees vir iemand, hy gee vir een 'n bees en hy gee vir jou 'n paar krantjies of goue draadjies. Ek weet nie of sê dat jy onnoosel of dom, maar dit was die pedesity, die manier van handdryf. Of jy gee vir hom nou 'n sakkie met spys en hy sê gewoon ek soek 8 beeste. En hy vat er 8 beeste en hy gee jou die sak. Sê maar miskien so, ook ek maak dit cool, ek kan miskien minder wees, maar hy gee jou 5 vol spys. En jy is gelukkig met die 5 spys. Hy is baie gelukkig met die 5 met die 8 beeste wat hy kry. Of skape. En nou gebruik hulle die vel van die skape, hy word verbrei en hulle van die Boesman of die kooi, het met die tyd was die skaap en die beeste en die velle gebrei en daarvan matte gemaakt om te leer die huise. En die anders het is maar klaar gemaakt soos vir, wanneer die mense kom uit die oostheid, dan is hy velle klaar gebrei, klaar sag aan die uit. En in my nieuw dan, ek dink ook dit is in my gedanke, dan bring hulle miskien nog soep, wat julle ook by hulle kry, met die rede van die handel, soep. En nou gebruik hulle dieselfde soep om die velle sag te maak. En wanneer hulle kom, as die velle sag gemaak met soep wat hulle vir jou gebring het, ook en jy gooi hier daar 'n bietjie die kos, en anders vat jy vir die velle. So guys, can you see what the people aim was? They came from India. They brought salt also from like the Dutch, you know. They brought the salt here, whatever. Not sure if the people uh, produce their own salt here, but okay. And then the people think, oh, that's a good ingredient to help with the fiala, not sure what the name of the fiala, but okay, what they did, and then they make uh, the, 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 and then they make Hulle maak nie vir hulle sag, hulle brein daarmee. So I'm not sure if I can say that guys were a little bit not so wise, because if you came to that place and you say, okay, I want 10 keto for that sack, that bag of salt, I think there's something maybe not wrong. There's something wrong with you, something like, okay, but that was how things go that time. And that guy who wrote this book, that book was specially wrote of all the standards of country, regions in the country, names. I saw there Stolbach, Geert Winterhoek, Meyer, Plattey, whatever, mountain is okay like this. All this, I think that is a very interesting book because it can yarn a lot of elephants led the way and stem the original tracks that is now the front hook. Front hook. So you can see there, I say front hook pass. They say elephants led the way and stamped the original tracks that is now front hook pass. I have a letter from the man whose father watched the last herd of elephants crossing Elephant's Kloof into the interior Franschhoek. Of course, was once Elephant Hoek. Listen here, Franschhoek was not Franschhoek, Franschhoek was Elephant Hoek. Elephant, because the elephant made the road there. And some people came there and they decided, no, we make it France. France was the name of somebody, you know. They may make it Franschhoek. And that is what we still believe in today. And if you don't say for somebody, no, the right name of Franschhoek was not Franschhoek, it was Elephant, they say, no, 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 it's not true, I don't believe you. That is how our people are indoctrinated. The same thing here in Paarl, and the name of that street was when I come to my mind. The name of Champa River Drive that from Wellington to that time it was Victor Stair. Now it is called Drakenstein Prison. And that name was Champa River Drive because that name was given to the Champa River who came from Holland. And they people decide now the people, the new government, the black people, when they take over, they decided no, you must change the name from Sambal Drive to make it Nelson Mandela Drive. And you see, people believe in that because they even, I even don't know Sambal. I still learn it Sambal. Okay, you got good points. Then okay, maybe because I saw in that other videos from him, but people uh, say that he was a nice guy. He kind of focused. Okay, I was a little bit about things I will not talk about now, maybe in another video, but he covered for in a certain way, covered for, you know. And then when we go back to the Netherlands, the people decided, uh, Kaltua never got the protection anymore. They sent her to Peroga Island, and that is where she died. Okay, that is it. And using Holland and the history of the color of the Khoisans, they think the history died, but it's not so because every day when you investigate and you go into books, and then you see there's new points coming out according to the people who stay the first people in Africa, Southern Africa, that is. So they cannot undermine us, they cannot, even they burn a part of the parliament. I heard a few years ago they burned a few part of it because what I knew there was also history about the Koi people. So they burned the site off. They burned it down. And now I'm thinking, okay, like, there's no history about the Koi of the Khaleds, because the Khaled was first. They was, as you can see here, they speak about Hottentots. And that is the last name, Hottentots, the Khaled people before they were uh, made, you know, classified as Khaleds. There was a last name. Before that, they was called the people, that is what they say, that the descendants of the Khaleds. There was what they called Khoisan, Khoi and San, because there were two groups. The first group was cattle, they grow cattle and they move from one place to another place. They like the two brothers of the Bible, Abram and Lot, and the two was so, and then every time when the grass was eaten down by the cattle, and then they moved to another place. Because it was inspirational, there was a God to send them, send even to the certain places. Say, okay, even you must go now to take your cattle and move to other place. And then Abraham did not move. And later Lord, okay, you can choose what ground and Lord choose, okay, I want the green grass. And Abraham said, okay, it's fine. And because he wasn't a man of fighting, Okay, he was a fighter, of course, he said there, but he said, okay, I don't worry about fighting for ground because tomorrow when I die, I cannot took this land with me, the same land. And that was same land. But that was too different. Was it? It was. I can say it was family wise. One family was uh, connected to the sun, other family was connected to the koi. And afterwards, they call it the koi sun. And so that is why the people they move from place to place. So the one group, uh, they grow uh, working with livestock, cattle, cow, sheep, and turn. And the other thing was they grow make gardens, they plant, And that is why that people came here, the Hottentots and another Hottentot, the Dutchmen, and other nations from India and Germany, uh, all the other people, England, all these people, Vasco da Gama and that, they came here and they exchanged their values, on under each others. So first teams have bring they brought wire and krala, and other things, they brought it there. And then the coin gave them livestock, and, because that's why I say the other group who was still here was land, they were land to plant their own new maize and crops and all the things that they planted here and there was trees with fruits also and the guys took the fruit over to their countries and that was the aim main thing there. And after every time somebody else came here and he wrote that thing down, so there are a lot of history of the sun and the coin in all places in the world. Even Canada, Americas, uh, Denmark, England, Holland, all the places there are history about the sun and the coin, all the places. And that's why when the time when they burned the place there in the cast in the parliament, no, that was alright because there was still history about the nation. People are. It's now 30 minutes, so I will stop there now. Maybe I will come back later. Maybe a few other points of this book. And thank you for you who watch my videos. And you must remember, people, I don't have anything on the white people. I don't have any hard feelings because it's not your fault. It's not your fault that there is now. It is the people before you. Maybe I can say it's your ancestors. And what my people still must believe, we are still relatives of some of your ancestors. So that is it. But okay, stay here and I will come back later with another video. Maybe something else, or maybe I could further with it. So thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Whatever. Bye bye.